You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-Mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 13th day of September 2016. Let's take a quick look at the numbers. We'll start with the cash markets here in the US of A. A little bit of a different story than we had yesterday, more like the day we had Friday, but not nearly as severe. The Dow Jones Industrials are down 233 points. That's 1.25%. Okay. Remember, we went 43 days where we couldn't do more than 1% in either direction on the S&P 500 and on the Dow, I believe, as well. NASDAQ is down 63 points. That's 1.25%. S&P 500 is down 30 points. That's 1.5%. And the Russell 2000 is down 25 points. That's 2%. So rough day on Wall Street. Turning to our commodity basket, crude oil is down $1.30. That's a little over 2%. And gold hanging in there, trading 13.28, up $2.40 on the day. All right, turning to Asia, the Nikkei is up 56 points. The Shanghai is up 2, that's right, 2 points. And the Hang Seng is down 74. None of those are mover or a shaker. Now, we've got wall-to-wall red in Europe. The DAX down 45, FTSE down 35, and the CAC down 52 points. The one mover and shaker there is the CAC, which is down over 1%. Not quite 1.25. So, there you have it. Europe's red. Asia's mixed. The U.S. is awash in a sea of red. And those are the numbers. Now, for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, you should be able to see the chart I have up. It's the S&P 500 E-mini futures. If you can't see the chart, perhaps you're listening to the audio stream and you don't know how to find the charts, or maybe you're listening through a third-party app and you don't know how to get to the charts. Just go to our homepage, CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, there's a big microphone. Click it, follow the instructions. You'll see where it says Watch Live Now. Click that, register. Within 30 seconds, you'll be able to see the charts and access the chat box. That's really important because that's your way of becoming a part of the program. It's your opportunity to express your thoughts, your ideas. Got something on your chest, you want to get it off, perfect place to do it. We have listeners around the globe. So if you ever wanted to tell the world something, here's a great place to do it. Just keep it clean, all right? Now, the good news is you don't have to register every day, just once a month. When you do it on the first day of the month, that makes things really simple, because you're trading 30 seconds for 30 days, which is good. All right. We're going to take a look at one news article. Then we're going to go straight to Michael for the recap because he has a meeting this afternoon, and we'll come back. A couple more articles I want to share with you, some food for thought, and then we'll go to our good word for the day, and then we'll do a recap of the Concierge Trade Alerts. This first one here, grabbing my attention, the ES. Last night we were looking to sell, well, the alerts went out last night at 9 o'clock on the dot. So if you add 12 and 9, you get 21. That's how you figure out military time for anybody that doesn't know. And so right there is 2100. So let's drop a vertical line at 2100. Yeah, okay. Now, this is what we thought last night would be a good idea, to sell 2140. And that's going to be right here. Oh, let's see if it held overnight. Right click. Paste. No, it didn't hold overnight. Now that's interesting, but nonetheless, let's move on. Now, these are last week's weekly trading zones. This right here is last year's high. It's 21.27 to 29. That's the 2015 high of the year. All right. So 2140 going to be right about here. Bring it down. Close it. It's going to do that. 2140 and a quarter, and there's 21. Wow. Whew. Okay. Now we're going to right click, copy, and we shouldn't have to worry about that again today. So if we sold 2140, you got your email at the vertical line, 9 p.m. Eastern, sell 2140. And we've put in a swing low today at 2116. So for those of you that trade the S&P, that of course is the market that everybody seems to want to trade. So if we take 2140 and minus 2116, it gives us 24 points at $50 per point. It gives us a gain of $1,200 per contract available. Okay. $1,200 per contract available. So for all of you S&P traders out there, that bell's for you. Congratulations. You did good. Now, let us not forget that important prices and important areas are almost always tested. And there we have good evidence. So the first move down took us to 35.50. So we had a 4.5 point move. Then we got back above the trigger. And that's when we did the $1,200 per contract. Okay. All right. That one news article real quick. Let's throw that out there. Hillary Clinton's campaign is attempting to turn the tables on Donald Trump following his assertion that she has a low opinion of voters. In a new ad titled Low Opinion, released today, Clinton's campaign spliced together a montage of Trump's criticisms of large blocks of voters, including women and military veterans. The 60-second spot highlights Trump's generalizations about why black voters should support him, his mocking impression of a New York Times reporter critical of the real estate magnate, and his comments calling various women fat pigs and slobs. Man, if this is not the mudslingingest campaign America has ever seen, I'm telling you, Lady Liberty out there in New York Harbor, and her head is hanging so low. They're sending cranes out to prop her up, to build some kind of scaffolding around her, because she's just about to collapse from the weight of all this garbage. The 60-second spot basically asks, how stupid are the people of this country? That's a question Trump unfortunately asked in November, mocking former Republican presidential rival Ben Carson's story about a knife fight he participated in as a teenager, which, I don't know, Ben, really? We liked you, Ben, until that happened. Clinton's ad highlights the line early on. The ad comes several days after Clinton amended her characterization of half of Trump's supporters as a basket of deplorables, arguing that many were motivated to support the Republican presidential nominee because of their racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, and Islamophobic dispositions. Now, if you go online, of course, you can read the ad, and I will put a link to the ad in tonight's show notes. I realize I'm a day behind on the show notes. Yesterday's radio show has been posted. I just have not had a chance to put all the hot links in there, but I will get that done this afternoon in between mentoring sessions and all the other stuff. So, Michael, I know you've got your meeting, so if you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
I am ready. Let me just look in here and see if there are... Bo is not in here. How about Gordon? Okay. I will bring it all over here. And now...
All right, I'll hit mute.
Okay, all right. 10 minutes. Here we go, guys. Hit record. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 13th day of September, 2016. Today in the live trading room, we made 6 ticks on the euro, 13 ticks on crude, 2 ticks on gold. That is a total of $187.50 per contract. Okay. This morning, it took us... Okay. This morning, it took us 50 minutes, that's 50, and 7 trades to get to $101.25. That was the goal for the day. 101.25 was the goal for the day. Well, 100 is the goal for the day, but that's when we closed out that trade, that's where we were. And we took a total of 12 trades today. So, something must be wrong with that formula. Anyway, on the month now, we are up $998. That's over 8 trading days, averaging $124 per day. If you were to apply an $8 commission to every trade we've taken, you would have a net profit of $78. If you were to apply a $5 commission, you'd have a net profit of $423. Okay. On the year now, we're up $41,873. That's over 172 trading days, averaging $243 per day. $243 per day. Now, if you have not taken the free trial with us, then you need to go right here where it says CFRN.net. Go to the home page, and in the right-hand column where it says register for a free trial, put in your name, put in your email, and click register for a free trial. You got to put in a valid email because then you will be sent a confirmation link. Okay, you must click on the confirmation link or you will not get your free trial. All right, let's get into the trades. For those of you guys who are doing a daily double, I'm just going to say it right here. The daily double was to sell right here. Was to sell here. Okay. And the first target was right down here. First target was here. So we hit the first target, you should be flat from the first target. Okay. We didn't have any YM trades today. I was just putting that out there so that those of you who are doing the daily double, you should be aware of that. Let me take the questions out here. There we go. Okay, gold. Today in gold, we had a couple of trades. The first one we got 2 ticks profit on. The second one we had a break even on. And gold was just, it was really, really messy today. And you can see it's just a horrible mess. It's got a really ugly head and shoulder pattern going on right here. And this level right here would be the neckline. Okay, so I would look for it to break down below that level. ES. Did pick out a couple of trades here on the ES today. Let's see. This is still today, right? Yes. All right. The first one was right here. It was right under the weekly trading zone, and I said, as I said, this is a short trade that I said, but I don't like trading so close to the weekly trading zone. Right up here was a momentum long trade, went for a couple of ticks, would have been a break even. Nice short right in there. A nice short there and there. And that was it on the ES. It got pretty choppy in here. I thought it was going to actually start moving a little better once the European markets closed, but it got choppy for most of the first half hour. Okay. And on crude oil, let's go back to the beginning. All right, our first trade on crude right here, we stopped out minus 8 ticks. Then the next trade, we had a break even. Then I missed that trade right there, and this trade right here I got 13 ticks profit on. Okay, this one kind of overlapped into this one. When I was in the trade, I didn't even realize I was in this trade. I had the order on from up here, the momentum short. And when I went to put this order on, I realized I was in that trade. And so I just took 13 ticks profit on it. Well, I missed this short off the BBC right here. Went down and put in a lower swing, and then it just shot right back up. There was a long trade there that I missed, and then I started getting little trades in here. I got 1 tick here to put me at 6, 1 tick here to put me at 7, and then 6 ticks here to put me at 13. You know, 1 more break-even trade, and then the break. In the break, the only thing there would have been a long trade right here, and it was really messy. Would have been a break-even. Okay. That was that. The soybeans, I completely missed it on the soybeans today. We had 2 short trades, both of them beautiful trades, no drawdown at all, but I did not get filled on those. Okay, and then beans just got really sideways. The euro. Okay, on the euro, yeah, we had just these 3 trades. Oops. Yeah, that was where I took. Okay, the first trade was a break even right in there. Then on this one, I got 5 ticks profit. This is where we got the goal for the day right here. Those 5 ticks put me at 31.75 or 31.25. 31.25 is where it put me. 5 ticks on the euro now. And I got 1 more over here to put me at a nice even 37.50. Okay. And that was it. That was really it for the day so far. The first daily double, as I said, this was the trigger level right here. This was the first target level. So it actually made it from the trigger level to the target level several times. But the very first time was, right here was the first trigger. The stop was up here, way up there. And this was the first time it actually hit the target level. Okay, and it went actually through the target level by 11 ticks. So it went 31 ticks. Came back up, right back down. Came back up, then right back down. This time it went, the stop was at 30. I mean, I'm not suggesting that you take the daily double more than once. I'm just pointing out the same level was hit again and again. Alright, the other daily double that we gave out today is not triggered yet. Okay, let's bring this up. Okay, if you have not taken a free trial with us, just go here to CFRN.net. And I mean, if you want to take a free trial on any of our things, Concierge Trade Alerts, right in here, 1 trade a day, right in here, Emini Daily Double, right in there. Okay, you just gotta let us know. But to take the trading room trial, you go here to CFRN.net. In the right-hand column where it says register for a free trial, put in your name, put in your email, click on register for a free trial. When you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that confirmation link, you do not get the free trial. In the recap, today we made 6 ticks on the euro, 13 ticks on crude, and 2 ticks on gold to get us to 187.50. All right. On the month now, we're at 998. That's over 8 trading days, averaging 124 a day. On the year, we're at 41,843. That's over 172 trading days, averaging 243 per day. Okay. All right. There. With that, I can shut off the recording. And we can head out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona if Dwayne is ready. Dwayne, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay.
What were you saying about the
daily double?
Daily double.
The YM triggered and went through the first target by 11 ticks. The crude has not triggered yet.
Okay, good.
So I got to go update the spreadsheet. That spreadsheet is right here. So I will add.
The guys, on the Concierge Trade Alerts, which I was showing you at the beginning of the show, that one move last night in the S&P, that $1,200 move, that almost pays for an entire quarter of the Concierge Trade Alerts. Now you get 8 markets every night, 2 trades per market. Those trades do have a tendency to repeat over and over again, and you are, once you learn how to trade them, and I'll teach you in a private mentoring session how to know which trades to take, which ones to walk away from. Now, anyone who over the weekend or yesterday signed up for the free trial of the Concierge Trade Alerts, it cost you $1 to sign up for the trial, and the first trade I sent you was worth $1,200. I don't know where you're going to find that on the internet, and it's not a one-trick pony. We've been doing this for almost 5 years. We did a 3-year public beta test, and it's been almost 2 years since we rolled out the Concierge Trade Alerts as a product that you can subscribe to. So if you have not taken a look at it, again, for the cost of $1, I don't think there's much you can. I was going to compare it to something, but there's really not anything you can buy for $1 anymore. I don't know, maybe some candy or a soda pop or something if you drink soda pop. So for less than the cost of anything else worthwhile, you can have delivered to your inbox. Michael's loud typing.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I'm updating the daily double.
All right. You can have 8 trades delivered to your inbox tonight, or I'm sorry, 8 markets, 2 trades per market, that's 16 trades. Now, if you're trading the 2420 blueprint, see, we have a lot of different things going on, so you've got to decide what's best for you and what's right for you. If you decide to become a quarterly CFRN client on the Concierge Trade Alerts, that gets you into the live trading room as well. However, if you don't really know how to trade, if you need to be in the mentoring program, then what I recommend is that you sign up first as a mentoring client, okay? And then you can add on the Concierge Trade Alerts at a later date. The Concierge Trade Alerts, well, that looks like the quick way to some fast money. There is no quick or fast money in the markets, okay? Until you learn how to trade, you're going to be lost. You're going to be dependent upon somebody else, and that's not what you want. You want to be able, now it's perfectly fine to have someone point you to areas where important prices, important areas are almost always tested. That makes your job as a trader easier. It's like having your own private analyst say, okay, here's the areas you should be watching. And then you as a trader come in and you pop off one or two and you're done for the day. Now, as a mentoring student, we're going to start you out with a test. We're going to actually put you through a 10-day test to qualify to go live. Most people would just hand you some indicators, wish you good luck, and watch you go blow up your account. Actually, they don't even watch you. They just shake your hand and say goodbye and move on to the next one. We stay with you every day in the live trading room, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, plus unlimited one-on-one mentoring. All you have to do is go to the mentoring page, sign up, find a day and a time that's convenient for you, and then I or Michael will meet with you, and wherever you're at on your journey. In the beginning, you might need 2 sessions a week, and then it becomes 1 session a week, and then it becomes 1 session every other week, and then pretty soon it's once a month. And then I end up calling you. It's like, hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I just, I know that your time's valuable and you got a lot of people to try to help, so I don't want to tie you up. Music to my ears. I had some emails this morning that were music to my ears. A lot of people doing really, really well, but they put in the groundwork first of learning how to trade. So you should, if you're on the trial, you should go to that meeting with Michael this afternoon, and then he's going to send you an email, and in that email it's going to cover what's offered, what you get. The indicators, of course, are yours to keep for life. And at the end of the 90-day mentoring program, if you want to remain an active partner, there's a minimum monthly fee of $75. That's it. You can stay joined at the hip for life. Not because you necessarily need Michael to point out trades for you in the live trading room, but because you like the camaraderie, you like the companionship, you like being part of a group, a part of a community. And when you do have that rough day every now and then, you've got somebody to call and talk to. You have somebody who can take a look at what you did that day, and a fresh set of eyes can often uncover, all kinds of things and help you get back on track instead of floundering out there on your own, by yourself, all alone, wondering what the heck is going on. You actually have someone that you can connect with and will help you know, help you figure out, help you see what's really going on. Plus, when it's time to roll over and all these different things, you'll be connected via the live trading room and via the partners workshops on Thursday night. So go to that meeting this afternoon, and then when Michael sends you the email, be sure and respond to that. If you need more information, you can always reach us, support@cfrn.net or 949-42-EMINI. 949-42-EMINI. Michael, if you can push the charts over.
Okay. I will push them to you. There you go.
Guys, we started yesterday with when do bad things happen? And the answer was when you're not expecting it. Luke 8:12, then the devil comes, right? So we're going to continue that good word for the day. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Today's scripture, 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should take advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now, the enemy's got a lot of tools, okay? Since the foundation of the earth, he's been working on his craft. So please don't ever kid yourself and think that you're going to outfox him, outsmart him, outrun him, or outdo him. Now, as I said, his tools are many. He's got alcohol. He's got drugs of every flavor, from crack cocaine to prescription. The really big problem sweeping America today is the addiction to prescription pain pills, oxycodone. You go, but that's designed to help people who are in pain. Yes, physicians did create it for that reason, but the enemy has taken it, and it's now one of the finest tools in his arsenal. When you have time to do a word study, look up pharmakia. Pharmakia. It's where the modern word pharmacology comes from the root Greek pharmakia. Okay. You owe it to yourself to look at this. Let's see, we got alcohol, we got drugs, we got pornography, we've got infidelity. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Theft. Speaking of theft, one of my co-hosts of Days Gone By used to always brag about Wells Fargo Bank and how uprighteous they were, how they didn't get drug into this mortgage-backed securities scheme, that their hands were lily white. I'm sure you've read the headlines that they just fired 5,300 employees for stealing from their clients. When you have an organization that size and you uncover a crime that rampant, 5,300 people. Now, here's where it really gets ugly. The CEO of Wells Fargo, he is known for, in the industry, among his peers and his colleagues, there's a term, 8 is better, or 8 is great. In other words, every client should have 8 accounts or some type of banking services with Wells Fargo. So what were these 5,300 employees doing? They were opening accounts without customers' permission, credit cards, anything that would generate them a commission. Sometimes it would be as simple as moving some money from one account to another account and then moving it back again. It generated fees. 5,300 people lost their job. There's an article out today on honesty in America today. How honest is the average American? The results of that test were pretty disappointing. I'm not going to go into the test results today. It's pretty in-depth, but when given the chance to lie for a few dollars, 70% of the people tested, and there were 50,000 people tested, 70% were willing to lie for less than $50. Now, it's in the book, thou shalt not lie, right? Well, what is a lie? Well, it's anything that isn't the truth. Well, what is the truth? Jesus says, the truth will set you free. But you and I have to rightly divide the word of truth to determine what is true. On the heels of a spiritual victory, it's tempting to let down your guard. But that's when you're most vulnerable to the enemy's attacks. You can't afford to be ignorant of his devices. Even Jesus wasn't exempt. In a display of supernatural power, he fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish. After a miracle like that, most of us would have decided it was time to kick back, take it easy for a while. But instead of basking in the afterglow, Jesus departed to the mountain to pray. Mark 6:46. It wasn't apparent at the time, but he was about to face one of the fiercest storms of his ministry, and you can read about that in Mark 6:48. Henry Blackaby observes, the disciples raced headlong into the tempest unprepared, but Jesus entered the storm prepared and met the crisis with all the power of God. Stand guard over your high points when you experience God mightily. Go immediately to a place of prayer so the Father can prepare you for what's about to come. Times have changed, but human nature has not. We're still our same old predictable selves, and the enemy knows it. That's why he prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. 1 Peter 5:8. Now, I don't want to be a doom and gloom kind of guy. Don't want to cause you unnecessary worry. But when something really good happens, you need to be on the lookout for what's coming next. Because every time God blesses you, the enemy's going to try and steal that victory. You don't have to let him, but you have to be prepared. So after Jesus fed all those people with the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, what did he do? He went and prayed. He didn't kick back and, as the author here says, bask in the afterglow. To stop the enemy from gaining an advantage, number 1, submit yourselves then to God, resist the enemy, and he will flee. That's James 4:7. You've got to put your foot down and let him know he's not welcome here. You can invite him in for tea, and too often we do. We do the very things that we know are going to chip away at our spiritual armor. We do them anyway. Paul suffered the problem thousands of years ago. Things I don't want to do, keep doing them. Sound familiar? And the things I want to do, I don't do them. Wow. You'd think after a few thousand years, mankind would have sorted that out and got it fixed, got it straight. But no, we're the same. And the enemy is very much aware of how much we are the same. Now, in Paul's day were there temptations like crack cocaine and oxycodone and pornography in your pocket via your iPhone or your Android device. Some of the most horrific images imaginable are just a few clicks away in the pocket of almost every American. You see, he's gotten into your home, into your life. He's even riding in your pocket. Now, granted, you don't have to make those clicks that take you to those places that you know you shouldn't be. But too many men in America today find it too much of a temptation not to. So you've got to decide, are you going to stand up and fight for that which is right? Or are you going to lay down and let the enemy make you look like a circus clown? There is a spiritual battle going on right now for your eternal soul. Number 2, surround yourself with godly companions. Psalm 1:1. Number 3, stay connected to God through His Word and prayer. Vern McClellan said, in the morning prayer opens the treasures of God's mercies and blessings. And in the evening, it shuts us up under His protection and safeguard. That, my friend, is a fail-safe strategy that you should adopt. Remember, he's going to show up when you're not expecting it, when you're basking in the afterglow of your most recent accomplishment. So be careful out there. There's a roaring lion looking for someone he can devour. Don't let it be you. That's our good word of caution for the day. Because I want you to make it back here again tomorrow. All right? Okay, let's get after these Concierge Trade Alerts. I got a lot of mentoring to do, this mentoring sessions this afternoon. And I want to take a little break in between the radio show and the start of the mentoring sessions. So we're going to go through this fairly quick. I may not draw as many lines as I normally do, but we'll see how it goes. Because whenever I have the opportunity to teach, it's difficult not to teach. And that's why I keep encouraging you to take that trial. It's right here, or here, or here, or here. Stand by. Well, that's not it. Here, I'll do it this way. CFRN emini.cfrn.net. Right here in this first post tells you everything you need to know. 5-day trial, costs you $1. The alerts will be in your inbox tonight at 9 o'clock, just like they were in the inbox of all the subscribers last night. And now let's go over those trades and see exactly what happened. We've already covered the S&P. Don't forget, we have prayer every morning. The faithful do. I haven't been so faithful of late. It's hard for me to get in there from 9 to 9:30 as I'm getting ready for the live trading room and everything else. That's what this little pop-up here is about. Christian Traders Community Forum. You might not have ever been there. I'm not positive that... You know what? Let me put that in the show notes tonight. Let me leave that there. Let me go ahead and give it to you now, because sometimes things happen. Let me go ahead and put it in the chat box, because I haven't even opened the chat box yet. I know Michael did. My good friend John Pounds, he's been real faithful to post almost daily on that blog, and just words of encouragement, scripture to read. And I don't know if you're listening, John. I just want you to know that we haven't been in touch like I'd like to be, but I love you, and I appreciate all that you do for the community. So thank you. David said he's referred to as a roaring lion, but not a lion meaning he has a big roar, but nothing behind it. Okay. All right. Iris says, Wells Fargo, when an employee needs to keep their job, they will follow their employer's demands. This is a hard decision on them, having a family depending on you. You know, Iris, I thought about that as I read that article, and I wondered how many of those employees that participated in that, 5,300, felt they had to do that in order to keep their job. You make an excellent point, one that hasn't escaped me. So, all right, on the Dow. So we know we went over $1,200 on the S&P in one move. Let's see. We'll stop 2,100. All right, on the Dow. We were looking to sell 18,190. Oh, right click and paste. Now, why did that work so beautifully yesterday and not today? What did I do differently? All right, let's go 18,190. Let me get it straight. I'm going to try it again. Boy, it's very finicky today. Well, I hope this works this time. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm highlighting it. I'm right-clicking it. Copying it. Now I should be able to go right here and right-click it and paste it. See? Now that worked. So I did something that undid it. So let's move on. As I said, I want to make this brief. Cell 18190. Okay. Swing low so far. 17,960. So we'll go 18190 minus 17960. $230 points times $5 per point, $1,150 per contract available. $1,150 per contract available. Okay. 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 Doesn't take a lot of explanation. If you sold 181.90 per the email last night, this is the opportunity that you've had so far. These are last week's trading zones. I don't want anybody to be confused by that. Last week's zones. Okay. On Thursday, I will reveal this week's zones to the entire audience. So this thing's still falling, but we'll put that right there. Okay. So in the S&P, we've dropped in excess of $1,200 per contract and still dropping. On the Dow, we've dropped in excess of $1,150 and still dropping. Let's make our way over to gold. Okay. We need to get our line at 2,100. The reason I put the line at 2,100 is because that's when the email went out. Okay. Email said be a buyer at 36, a seller at 29. Did 36 happen? It did not. I want you to look closely. The swing high was 35.90. We did not touch 36. Swing high, 35.90. Okay. And so the sell side was 13.29. So Let me right click, and I can tell it's going to work because the paste is lit up. $13.29. Beautiful. Sell $13.29. Sell $13.29. Okay. All right. Important prices, important areas, almost always tested. And so this first drop took us to a low of 38.10. Then we got back above the trigger, and we dropped to 25.50. So 25.50, that's $450 per contract. $450 per contract available. And back above the trigger, swing low is 26.60. So that would be $240. Now, remember, we don't get out at the exact swing high or the exact swing low. Why? Because we trail our stop. Then we get back above the trigger, and down we go again. And so far, the swing low on this one has been 13.22.30. Now, notice the pullbacks on these. No worries of being stopped out. You get above the trigger. If you, for instance, you entered here and you stayed in through here, and your stop's up here. So let's get the skinny on this. So 29 to 22 would be 7, but minus 3 would be 670. So $670 per contract available. Okay, and this is a fine example of the least amount of risk provided the greatest return. So we've got 1200 plus, 1100 plus, 4, 6, about 1200 plus altogether. And now bonds. The bonds that I cautioned you about yesterday, that I said if you're not a consistently profitable trader, or you just don't have the experience yet, let them go initially, okay? Until you have an opportunity to trade them in sim. And the reason I caution you on bonds is really quite simple. Bonds pay 31.25 per tick. And of course, your initial thought is, wow, that's awesome. I'd only need 4 ticks if I were just trying to get my daily goal of $100. That's true. But there's the other side of the coin where you end up on the wrong side of the trade, and if you're 4 ticks on the wrong side of the trade, you're down $125 per contract. So let's see what our email said last night. Bonds. ZBZ6. We wanted to be buyers at 67.11, sellers at 66.07. Okay, I gotta get this out of my way. You can't see it, but I can. 167.11. Where did that happen? That happened right there. All right, right click, paste. So I don't know about where you live, but in Phoenix, they did this thing. Cox Cable, it's the only option you have for cable TV here in the greater Phoenix area. They sent this thing in the mail, and I almost missed it, but it said Cox is going all digital. If you have a TV that you just screw into the wall and bypass the cable box, which you could go up to like channel 99, I think, without having any kind of cable box. You just screw it into the wall, you know, use the coaxial cable. And it's been laying on my desk for a while, and it says if you call by September 13th, we'll give you one mini box for free, and any additional TVs in your home will cost you $2.99 per month. And so I've told you that in the office / studio here, off to the side, I have a monitor running with CNBC on it, just kind of for background, you know, white noise. I'm not listening to it. I'm just watching whatever streams across the screen kind of thing. So last night I called the number on the piece of mail. I get so much mail from them between Cox and Farmers Insurance. They kill so many trees a year. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, 9 o'clock last night, I thought, well, I need two, one for the guest bedroom and one for my office, I guess. I mean, I didn't really believe this was going to happen, because remember when they did the thing before with everything's going digital and everybody had to go out and buy those antennas, and then they repealed it because it was an expense that a lot of our elderly citizens just really wasn't in their budget. And so Congress made them roll that back. And this morning, I come in, I sit down at my desk, and as I normally do, I put it on the news, and instead of a functioning TV, I've got a brick. I get a screen that says, Cox is going all digital. The channel in this location has transitioned to a digital-only format. To view it on this TV, you need new equipment. Visit Cox.com or call this number to get your mini box. And they show a lady's hand holding this little tiny box. Now, talk about a way to stir up revenue. City of Phoenix, I think valley-wide, population's 3 million. I'm guessing, I don't really know the number. And so if there's an average of 3 people per household, I don't know, that's 1 million households. And I'm going to guess these days everybody has cable. So that's $1 million. Most houses, I think, will probably take the free one and then get one extra one. And so they just found themselves $3 million in additional revenue per month by blocking a service that you already pay for. My cable bill is over $200 a month. I don't have any specialty channels. I don't have HBO. I don't have Showtime. I don't have any kind of a sports package. I got nothing. My internet, that's a whole separate business. I have a business account for my internet. That's $200 and something a month. But just to get cable TV into my house, nothing special. Couple of DVR recorders so that, you know, you can record shows when you're not around. They're already killing me with this bill every month. And every time I call to complain about my bill and tell them I just want to go to basic cable, that I don't ever watch any of these channels above 100. Anyway, they always tell me, oh, we're so sorry. Yes, we can fix that. We can get that bill down. It's no problem. Stand by while I transfer you to the right department. From my lips to God's ears. 3 times I've made this call. 3 times I was left on hold, and then all of a sudden I realized I'd been disconnected. Call it bad luck, call it fate, call it kismet. I call it theft by taking. Is this happening to any people in other parts of the country? Is this just a Phoenix? Is this a local scam? I guess it is. Because nobody's commenting. All right, well, we'll go back to counting our money. Okay. Well, no, Dave, I meant the little, well, yeah, I agree with that, but I'm talking about the little mini box. But you're right, David. It's a tactic to put you on hold, and then you wait forever, and then you give up. Well, the thing is I didn't give up. I ended up getting disconnected every time, 3 times. I actually think they're not that evil. Well, who am I to judge what? But anyway, I think they've got a glitch in their system. I just can't believe their boss told them whenever somebody calls up complaining about how high their bill is, just act like you're transferring them and disconnect them. I would have thought employees would revolt if they were given those kind of directions. But all of a sudden I'm thinking, but look what happened at Wells Fargo. I don't think those people dreamed up the stuff they were doing. They didn't fantasize that up. Somewhere it's gonna come out in the wash eventually. There's gonna be a memo. There's gonna be a smoking gun. And boy, somebody's gonna have a whole lot of egg on their face. I don't know who it is, but time will tell. I'm sure Eric Snowden has the email somewhere. Frederick says it's happening in Las Vegas as well. Frederick, do you guys have Cox Cable up there, or does it go by a different name? It is Cox? Okay. Maria says, I just spent 56 minutes with Rogers in Toronto to cancel my account. Now see, that's unconscionable that it should take you an hour to cancel your account. Are you one of those people who are, you know, that's kind of the big thing now, cut the cable? Because you can get, if you have internet coming into your home, between the Roku device and Apple TV and Netflix, I mean, there's just more stuff than you could ever watch. Is that kind of what you're doing, Maria? Cutting the cable? David says, we tried to get rid of the TV and they sent us a box and cut our price in half. What? That was his what, not mine. He said, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So they told me on the little recording last night, I had to put in the number of my address, and then I had to put in my zip code, and they said, okay, we got your account, and you'll receive your device in the next few days. If you have an email address connected to your Cox account, which I do, but I don't remember what it is because I never use it, we'll let you know when to expect delivery of your device. So not only am I perturbed, which is not a dirty word, not only am I perturbed that I don't have my TV going, I've got to wait some unknown number of days to get this mini box. Now, where it's really going to grind my gears is in the afternoon when I sit down to do the Concierge Trade Alerts that we're going over right now. I always flip it on, CNBC, and I catch the nighttime shows, everything from reruns of Shark Tank to The Profit to the new ones they have out, like the Adventure Investors and, gosh, I can't think of the names, the new LeBron James program. I mean, West Texas Investors Club. They're slowly building up their inventory, but you get a lot of repeats. But again, I've kind of got it going as background noise because it helps me get into my zone and focus on getting the numbers out to you. So I guess I won't be doing that tonight. I've also got a Fire Stick. I wonder if I could get around it using the Fire Stick. I've got the software. I downloaded the software to my computer some time ago for the Fire Stick that says you can get every channel on the planet for free. And it goes into this long reason why it's not illegal, immoral, or fattening. But I'm concerned. I don't want to do anything illegal. I don't want to be guilty of theft. So we've had the Fire Stick now for some time, and I've not side-loaded the software. I'm not even sure what that means, but there's a video on the internet that tells you how to do it. I'll probably just leave it alone. All right, the swing high of this candle is 167.15. Now, our instructions per the email were to buy 167.11. 4 ticks times 31.25 is $125 per contract. Okay. Swing high over here was 167.18. So that's 7 times 31.25. 7 times 31.25. Important prices, important areas, almost always tested. So there wasn't a lot to the upside to get excited about. If you took the trade, I mean, you could have hit your goal for the day if you're trading the 2420 blueprint. No doubt about that. The sell side for bonds was 166 166.07. And here is 166.07. Oh, I drew the line. Doggone it. I wanted to do the magic thing. It's only copy and paste. It's not exactly magic, but sell 166.07. It doesn't take much to get me excited. You probably already figured that out. So 166.07. I'm pretty easy to please. All right, and so the swing low is 164.22. Guess what that means? Dwayne gets to play his special file, I think. Where is the special file machine? I haven't played any sound effects today. What's wrong with me? Am I in a slump? And I don't mean trading wise, obviously I'm not, but I mean, you ever just sometimes feel blue, like for no reason? You just feel blue. I don't know. Probably need to pray. That's probably what you need. That's probably what I need. Okay. All right. So if you sell 166.07, now I got to move that thing out of the way the other way. At 165.07, which is right there, right click, paste. Wow, I hit it right on the nose. 165.07. The old gee whiz file. Okay, that's what happened. We made a gee whiz. $1,000 per contract available. Okay. Now it went further. It went all the way down to 164.21. So from 165.07 to 17 points. 17 times 31.25. So $1,531.25 per contract available. Now, we have gotten, no we haven't, we'd have to get all the way back up here to test that trigger. Could it happen? Sure. There's plenty of time left in the day. I wouldn't count on it. Number one, rule of thumb says anytime you make $1,000 on any one instrument in any one day, what do? You take the money and walk away. Okay? Not that the rubber band can't stretch 1,500 Not that it can't stretch 2,200 or 2,900 as we've seen in days gone by. But if you throw your indicators on, now see, this thing's already gone down to 1,500 bucks. It's already pulled back to less than $1,000 per contract, and the step line is just starting to look like it might want to cross the MA1. But if this candle closes red, then you're still in the trade. So this is where a lot of people say, man, I want to be a swing trader. You know, they'll have a couple of rough trades, day trading, and they'll say, the real money's in the swing trading. And so, okay, but here's what's, now this is on like a miniature version of swing trading. You get triggered in here, and in 1 hour you make 1,000 bucks. In 2 hours you make 1,500 bucks. And then in 2.5 hours you're now at less than $1,000. Made $1,000, made 1,500. Now you're back probably around, I don't know, 800 or something. So you're sitting there banging the desk going, man, I just gave back $700. I'm getting out. And so you get out. But yet the indicators haven't told you to get out. Yeah, but look at that wick, man. Look at the leg on that thing. It's like it touched a hot stove and ran the other way. So you got to decide who you're going to be as a trader and what your style is going to be. First, you got to learn how to trade. Just like before you can become a race car driver or a truck driver or a cab driver or a Federal Express driver, first you got to learn how to drive. You got to pass the driving test. Same's true with trading. You can decide you're going to be a swing trader, you're going to be a day trader, you're going to be a position trader, you're going to be all these kinds of... First, you got to learn how to trade, okay? So you see how this could simply be a leg and a retrace. And even if you rode this back down to where you were, quote unquote, made whole again and had your $1,500 back, how many of you would have the whatever it takes to stay in past that 1,500? You might be a man of steel until it gets down to that $1,500 mark where it, look how far it flew inside of 30 minutes. It took back probably $700, I'm going to guess, in about 15 minutes, in about 30 minutes, in 30 minutes. So when would the indicators tell you to get out? When the step line gets on the other side of the MA1 and you have a green candle close above the step line. That's your exit. Now, there's also the rule of thumb that says when you hit $1,000 per contract, you take the money. You hit $1,000 on any one instrument in any one day, you take the money and walk away. Okay. Now, there'll be times when it's falling so fast and furious that you can tell yourself, okay, I got my indicators running. As long as this thing keeps falling, and as long as the step line doesn't cross the MA1, in other words, potentially setting you up for an exit signal, I'm going to stay with it. Because as long as the meter is moving in your favor, why not stay in? Now, yes, there are going to be little pullbacks along the way, but watch the indicators. If the step line is on the right side of the MA1 and the candle's painting red like it's painting right now, do you follow me? If you don't, set up a mentoring session so that I can first take the trial, pay the man the dollar, because my time is valuable. So I got to have the dollar. That's just to keep out the tire kickers, man. You know that. In a mentoring session, I'll walk you through all these things that you need to know. No, Maria says that, Maria, who earlier had said she spent 56 minutes with Rogers in Toronto just to cancel her account, did it so that she could switch providers. See, here in Phoenix, we don't have that option. You either have Cox cable or you listen to the radio. It's Cox or nothing, which is surprising that they allow such a monopoly in a city this size. It almost doesn't seem right, but well, I guess you could go with Dish Network. So I guess, and I do see, well, I'm looking across at one of my neighbors and he's got a dish up on his house. And if I were still on the HOA board, I'd go over there and tell him, hey pal, that dish is not supposed to be showing from the street like that. And he lives right next door to the president of the HOA. Bob, if you're listening, go knock on their door and tell them to move that thing. It's a blight. I'm offended. It distorts my view of America's largest city park that I stare at out every day. All right, enough fooling around. You see what I'm saying? Lay those indicators on there. They'll really, really help you. Okay? All right. Bonds are done. Frederick says, cannot get local NBC, CBS, ABC with Fire Sticks and Roku, I believe. Please ask audience. I think you're right. Now, I don't know about the Fire Stick. I haven't played around with that much. The Roku, I know inside out. And the Apple TV, I know inside out. But you're right, Frederick. But see, before, you could, and I think that's what this mini box is all about. Well, what happened when they sent us out years ago? Remember when all TV was going to go digital? It was an act of Congress, and if you didn't have cable in your house, you were no longer going to be able to get any TV at all. You had to go buy one of these digital translators to hook up to your old-fashioned TV so that it worked. So everybody that needed to went out and bought them, and then, as I understand it, Congress repealed that law. So I'm assuming that, you know what, I'm gonna try that, because I have one of those digital antennas they made us buy. I have one of those here. We bought it for our men's home, I think, but somehow it's ended up here in my closet. I'm gonna hook that up and see if I can't still get the major networks out of the air. Remember the late night commercial guy, the late night infomercial guy who tells you how you can quit paying those outrageous cable bills, snatch free TV right out of the air. It's so funny. The guy's pitching an antenna We grew up with antennas, except we had to stick them up on our roof, or if you were a kid and had a TV, black and white, you had little rabbit ears in your bedroom, and the channel wasn't so clear, but you know, whatever. So if I hooked an antenna up to this TV right now, if I unhooked it from the wall, seems like I should still be able to get the major network channels. Does anyone know the answer to that? Ira says they have blockers to prevent receiving free TV. Frederick says yes, you can. Okay, so you can get the major networks, but mine on Cox is like channel 62 for CNBC. I wouldn't be able to get that with an antenna, would I? Bill B says we can here in Dallas. Now, Iris, this is the first I've heard of the blockers to prevent receiving free TV. Okay, so now Bill says with an antenna. Now, is this a rooftop antenna, or is this one of those digital translators, Bill, that you get about 30 channels on? Frederick says, I get about 30 channels with an antenna in Vegas. Is it a regular antenna like we grew up in? Oh, it's a HD antenna inside. Okay, Bill, I follow you. That's probably what you've got too, right, Frederick? It's a HD antenna. Oh, Frederick says he's using rabbit ears and gets 30 channels. And, okay, huh. Bill says his is a little black square. I forget what ours look like. We bought it for the men's home so they would have TV. And then I think they ended up getting a... Hold on, guys. There's a person at my door. It could be my mini box. Please hold. Okay, sorry for the interruption. It was not my mini box. It was more products for my wife to review. Yeah, quite a little thing going there. Frederick says, I'm less than a mile from the mountain where all the broadcast towers are located in Vegas. Frederick, I can stand in my front yard and up on South Mountain, the heart of America's largest city park, has all those antennas. You're exactly what you're describing. Neil says, we have a regular old-fashioned antenna at work that we can get all the regular New York stations on. Sometimes we have to go up and adjust a little bit to the left or to the right. How many stations do you have in New York? See, I grew up in a town that had 3 channels. I guess it was ABC, CBS, and NBC. And then they came out with one UHF channel. But that's what I grew up with. That was TV. And TV was so different back then. I mean, you got The Wizard of Oz once a year. So it was a big deal. I mean, I love that show. And I grew up on it. And I've tried to get my kids as interested in it as I was. And it's like, to them it's just boring. Because they could watch it anytime. Just pull it up on Netflix or whatever. We not only have Netflix because we're part of the Amazon Prime, we have their library is almost as big as Netflix. We have way too much content. Anyway, and like The Wonderful World of Disney. That came on like Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. And man, Sunday at 8 o'clock, if you were a kid, you had your backside planted in front of the TV watching Walt Disney. It was part of growing up in my household. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Walt Disney. And now, or what was it called, Disney World? I think they just called it Walt Disney. Anyway. Bill B. Cartoons at 6 a.m. on Saturday only. Frederick says, check out over-the-air TV on Google. Neil says, Disney came on right after Wild Kingdom. Where I grew up, Neil, Wild Kingdom came on Saturday afternoon. And then Walt Disney came on Sunday night. But I used to like both shows, yeah. I sure did. Marvin says, we had one channel. Gabby Hayes was the only thing we could get. I don't know who Gabby Hayes is. Oh, and Bill says, I was the remote for Dad. I remember that when your parents would tell you, go change the channel. For those who might not know, whatever kind of TV you have, if it's, you know, a modern TV, you can, not that you would need to, but you can download an app for your TV and that'll work as your remote. I mean, it's kind of redundant. Why download a remote app when you can just use your remote? Yeah. I don't even know why I brought that up. Neil said 7 channels was what they got. Who was Gabby Hayes? I want to check out over-the-air TV on Google. What should I search, Frederick? Over-the-air TV? Over-the-air TV. Over-the-air Phoenix TV listings. Oh, here's free TV channels from Mr. Antenna USA. There are over 60 digital channels available in the Phoenix area. These over-the-air signals are free for us to use with no monthly fees. But I think they've now blocked that with this mini box. What's interesting about the digital TV was, like, in our guest room, and and I suppose in my office, but I only ever have my office on 62, but in the bedroom, in the guest bedroom, there's like 3 channel 5s, and there's like 4 channel 8s. Channel 8 is our public broadcast, our public television, where they do the fundraising every year to stay on the air. So this goes all the way up to $61.2, and then it stops. It doesn't go to 62. Let me see if I back mine down to 61. Do I get anything? Nope. Digital channel is encrypted. 61 tells me I need a mini box. 60 tells me I need a mini box. Okay, enough about TV. I want to know who Gabby Hayes is, though. I know the name. The name's really familiar. I just can't. Frederick says it's against the law to block over-the-air TV. Well, you know what? I bet if I unplugged it from the cable, from the wall, and hooked up one of those little antennas, I bet you're right. I could get the major networks at least. Okay, so he's gonna have to Google Gabby Hayes. Here we go. George Gabby Hayes was an American radio, film, and television actor. He was best known for his numerous appearances in Western films as the colorful sidekick to the leading man. And then there's a bunch of clips of Gabby Hayes on YouTube. Okay, well, at least now I know. All right. Okay, let's get back to business here. I said I wanted to wrap this up today early, and I'm doing everything but that. Oh, snap. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so we're done with bonds. Oh, and look where that candle is now. Remember, it looked like the indicators might tell us to get out, but now it's gotten real quiet. So we'll see what happens there. Crude oil. All right. 2,100 hours. Okay. Those are last week's zones, by the way. But boy, they sure look good for this week, huh? Let's see. GCLV by 46.60, sell 45.65. So 46.60 never happened. So was there an opportunity to sell 45.65? Why, yes. Yes, there was. Paste. Man, I can't thank you guys enough for that. 45.65. Oh, how cool is that? Come on, come on. Look at this. Important prices, important areas, almost always tested. Okay? All right. So let's write it down. Sell 45.65. All right. And the first swing low here, I'm not going to count this one over here. I'm just going to count this one. Because on this, you might have got taken out, you know. You might have got stopped out over here. So we'll just go to this one. 4504. Okay, 4505 would be 60 points. Yeah? So that's 61 points. Somebody correct me if my math's wrong on that. $610 per contract available. Okay. Then we get back above the trigger. Down we go again. And this time we get a swing low at 44.77. 45.65 minus 44.77 equals 88 ticks. So I'm going to write it a little different. 88 ticks available per contract. Now, crude pays $10 per tick. And so from here to here was 88 ticks, or $880 per contract available. Now you see, when the market makes $880 per contract available, you can get out anywhere you want. You can get out at 200, get out at 100, get out at 500. You can't get out at 900 or 1,000. You have to get out at less than 880 because we don't know it's going to stop on the nose at 880. We know that as price retraces, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, and it looks like it may be beginning a new leg down. Now, this didn't move very far, okay? I mean, we only got 4 candles in that move, and 2 of them have the same low. So what happens when you insert the indicators on that kind of a trade? Does it really help you any? See, it was so short-lived. Now this first trade where it dropped to 610, right here, you see where the step line crosses the MA1 and you get a green candle closing above the step line? That's the indicators telling you to get out, and you leave quite a bit on the table. But you still made a nice profit. Over here, this trade didn't last long enough or go far enough for the step line to get back on the right side of the step line. And so once it got on the right side of the step line, it then immediately gave you an exit signal right here. So that example right there probably confused a lot of people. I should have left that alone. But we'll work on it in a mentoring session if you want some clarity on that. All right, let's go to the beans. We don't trade the news. That's us. 2100. Right there, big green candle. Okay. Wayne Jett will be with us tomorrow. I really threw Dane for a curve yesterday on my comment about Iran, and when I told my wife what I had said, she goes, "Have you lost your mind?" And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you would be on my side. She goes, "You're a Christian man, you're ordained, and you're talking about blowing a country off the face of the earth filled with innocent women and children?" I go, "Well, I didn't mean it literally, I don't think." And she goes, "Okay, when they say it, do they mean it literally?" I go, I think they do." And she said, "Now, who said it?" I go, "Now that's the argument he used. One man said it. But I thought that's how they all felt." "Well, why don't you ask some of them?" It's good to have a spouse of 30 some odd years who you can have those types of discussions with, she has the ability to speak truth into my life. Oh, and you bet your bottom dollar I speak some truth into her life too. But I'm so thankful, you know, I really am. All right, let's get back to business. Soybeans, what's going on? Soybeans, we wanted to sell 957. That doesn't, I already grabbed the thing. I'll just go ahead and draw it. It's really going to take a long time to break that habit, but I'm going to break it. Sell 957. Okay. Well, we hit pay dirt on this one. We went all the way down to 42.5, so let's just call it 43. 57 minus 43 equals 14 points. Might as well do the math. Times $50 a point equals $700 per contract. Okay. $700 per contract, or 14 points available. And it may not be done, and it may not be over, but Bill says the federal budget balance at 1 o'clock is, the federal budget balance is at 1 o'clock. Well, that's already come and gone. Oh, 1 o'clock Central, I'm sorry. Dan says, I thought the same thing your wife thought. She said I should apologize to the entire audience for making that comment. So, I apologize. God loves a humble man. So, I want nothing more than to be loved by God, my wife, my children, and you guys, in that order. So, I apologize. I'm sorry, I just get so worked up when I really do believe the powers that be do want to blow us off the face of the earth, and that our president is making a deal with the devil, giving them all this money and nuclear capabilities. For what? What possible good could come out of giving them nuclear power and billions upon billions of dollars? How's that good for anybody, including the Iranian people? Because as soon as they start cooking that stuff up, then the airstrikes are going to come. And then innocent women and children will lose their lives. Unrightfully so. I really mean that I don't want to see any innocent men, women, children, anybody hurt in any way. Only those who are guilty. Only those who hold malice in their hearts for us, for America. Now, I've seen marches in the streets, and while there may be thousands that are screaming, down with America, kill the American dog, granted, that's not everybody in Iran. So I guess I would only want to blow those 1,000 off the face of the earth. You know what? I don't want to blow anybody up. I don't want to shoot anybody. If I have to defend my home, defend my family, I certainly will. But, boy, these are troubled times we live in. Now, if it's true that Hillary Clinton is a witch and has pneumonia, what do you think that, like, whoever's above her recommends? Like, I have Newt, or that was a pun, Newt Gingrich. Remember the body count? Never mind. I guess you had to be there. All right, let's get this over with. NASDAQ, 2,100 hours. Now remember, these alerts went out last night at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, I urged people to sell the NASDAQ. I didn't exactly urge you. I suggested that you sell the NASDAQ at 47.47. If you had done as I suggested, no, got to stop that. Right click, paste, 47.47. 747 coming out of the sky. Won't you take me on a ride down to Memphis tonight? I gotta move. Hey, he's a traveling man. If I had a wish Other than world peace and all that, I wish I could sing and play the guitar. I mean, already got the long hair. I got the look. I just I have no talent. That's the problem. Okay, so the NASDAQ, we're selling 47. Okay. And important prices, important areas are almost always tested. So, first time down, we get to a low of 47.32. So 47 minus 32 is 15. So we'll write down 15 points available, or $300 per contract, because the NQ pays $20 per point. So 15 was available, but if you're trailing your stop, you know, you're going to get taken out with, I don't know, maybe you get 10. If you get 10 points, that's 200 bucks. And then important prices, important areas, and the swing low there is 46.99 and a quarter. Why don't I just round that up? 46.99. Why don't I just round that up to 4,700? And then we'll call this 47 points. That'll make life a lot easier. 47 points available, or 47 times 20. 47 times 20 equals $940, or $940 per contract available. Okay. See, that's what we believe in. I know it runs counter to what some folks have muttered on this show, but we actually believe in making money daily. We think it's better than not making money daily. And if that makes us wrong or greedy or stupid, I guess I should apologize for that too. All right, that covers the NASDAQ. Yesterday, the NASDAQ made $1,330 per contract available here. And then it went on to do this over 2,000. So that makes today's paltry $940 per contract not look quite so exciting, does it? All right. I was going to go into a teaching moment there, but I want to get done. Not because I don't love you, want to hang out with you, spend time with you, go fishing, pop a cold one. I don't drink cold ones. Well, I've drank my share of beer in my life, but I just have no desire, the desire, and I don't even think it's like a religious thing. It's just, you know, a cold beer on a hot day. That never really did appeal to me. When I drank beer, I drank it Well, you know, for the other reason. I wanted to go to the bathroom a lot. No, I mean, I used to go, we lived in Oregon. We used to go to all the microbreweries. You know, this is a lifetime ago. But now, there have been times, like I'd be at the grocery store, and maybe I had just seen one of those Stella Artois, or whatever it's called, commercials, and I would stand in the grocery store and I would look at it and I would go, dude, it's just going to make you feel bloated and it's not going to taste that good. And even though you haven't smoked a cigarette in 5 years, as soon as you take that first sip, you're going to want to light one up. So why don't you just not? And so it's probably been, I don't know how many years it's been since I drank a beer, but it's been a lot. It's been pre-1996, I think. Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people, their religious beliefs, you know, that you don't drink any alcohol. My beliefs are what people do is their own business. I know that the Bible, Jesus, first thing he did was make wine. That was his first miracle. And it says that strong, I think in the Bible it says strong drink should be reserved for special occasions and the sick. I don't know what kind of strong drink they had back then. And I don't know when beer first was created. All right, here's the Russell. Sell 1228. This is going to blow your hair back. The Russell pays $100 per point. Look at me. You know what? I'm never going to break the habit unless I make myself do that every time. 1228. Okay. Sell 1228. And even here, important prices, important areas. I mean, swing low, 1200.1. So that means it was 27.9 points. 27.9 points available. Or, hold on to your hat, $2,790 per contract available. You know, I feel like I should offer some kind of commentary, but it is what it is. We sold 28, it dropped one tick shy of 30 points, which would have been $3,000. Wait a minute. That's not right. No, 2,800. So it was 27.90. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So backing it up, S&P 1,200 bucks, and looks like it wants to drop some more. The Dow 1,100 and change, and it looks like it could drop some more. Gold 450, 240, 670. Bonds 4 ticks, 7 ticks, 31.25 per tick. Should put that in. Per tick. And then $1,000, and then $1,500. And remember when we measured that? And we talked about how would you handle it if it actually came back. I mean, you had 1,500, then you got knocked back to about 800. If it came back to 1,500 and quote unquote made you whole, how would you handle it? What would you do? You may get the opportunity to find out. Crude oil 610, 880. Soybeans $700 per contract. NQ $300 per contract, 15 points. And then on the retest, 47 points or $940 per contract available. Of course, we don't get out at the exact swing high or the exact swing low because we trail our stop. Also, in case I haven't mentioned it to you, the official disclaimer will play at the end of the program, but trading is risky. You can lose all of your money and then some. And you have to talk with a licensed investment professional before you can even open an account. If you need such a person to talk to, you could always call Bert or Leslie toll free at 866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. And if you happen to speak to him, tell him I'm sorry about the whole Iran thing. I didn't really mean it. Okay? I don't want them to think poorly of me because I love them very much. God, the way they came into our life was, I've told the story a million times. I'm not going to tell it again today. Oh, now what David said. I think this Iran thing is partly to take out Israel because I get the impression Obama hates Israel. By golly. What he said. Okay? Now, not only have they said they want to blow us off the face of the map, they said they wanted to blow Israel off the face of the map. The Bible clearly says that whoever stands as the protector of Israel will have the protection of God. Folks, there's never been a time in history that we needed the hand of God's protection on our nation more so than we do right here, right now. So, pray for our country. Pray for Iran. Pray for Israel. Most of all, just pray. Pray without ceasing. Well, I got to go to work, you know. I understand. But see, you can talk to him on the way to work. You can talk to him while you're at work. You can talk to him between customers. You can talk to him while you're stocking the shelves. You can talk to him while you're placing your next trade. He's always there and he's always listening. And he's always got a solution to whatever jam you've gotten yourself into. Now, the right way out may not be the easy way out. In fact, it rarely is. But if you'll man up and listen up, I guess you got a lady up too, ladies. If you'll man up and listen up, and then do what he actually tells you to do. I know. It's tough. But if you want a better life, then it will, rivers of living water will flow out of you. Not only will you be blessed, but those around you will be blessed. People will come and stand beside you because your cup runneth over, and they just want to get, you know, just a few drops on their head. If you work on your personal relationship with him, amazing things will start to happen in your life. You'll question him. God, you sure you got the right person? I don't think I'm up for that, or know how to do that, or I'm capable of that. But he doesn't make mistakes. We do. But he forgives us. He's just and quick to forgive us of our mistakes. All right. I'm going to go get ready for my mentoring sessions this afternoon. Maybe even catch a little lunch in between. That'd be nice. Now, if you have not, for some reason, taken the Concierge Trade Alert trial, I encourage you to do so. All you have to do is go to CFRN.net. I'm sorry, Emini.CFRN.net. I just put it in the chat box. Emini.CFRN.net. The first post, upper left, is the link where you go to take the trial, and when you take the trial, I will send you, as soon as I'm notified that you've paid the $1, then and feel free to notify me yourself. Just send me an email and say, hey, Dwayne, I just paid the $1. Of course, PayPal, they send me a thing too, but sometimes it shows up right away, sometimes it doesn't. And I might be in a mentoring session and not able to check my email when you email me, but I will make sure that everyone who signs up today for the 1-week trial, I will make sure that you get the link to the video, how to trade the Concierge Trade Alerts. Okay? Now, one thing I want to make sure you understand, I send you 8 markets, 2 trades per market. I don't expect you to trade all 8 markets. That's not what it's about, and that's not what it's for. It's so that you can pick the market that looks best to you. I mean, when you come in and sit down, whether it's at 9 o'clock at night when the alerts hit your inbox, or the next morning when you come in and sit down and go to work, whether you come in pre-market or right at 9:30, or, you know, however you roll, you can open up that email. You can take a look at the ES and see if it's anywhere near the trigger. Look at the Dow. Is it anywhere near the trigger? Look at the Russell. Look at the gold. Oh, man, the gold is like right at the trigger. Okay. Once you've spent time with me in a mentoring session, you'll know how to size it up. You'll know where the stop has to go and what you can expect in regards to profit potential. And then you make the decision, is the risk worth the potential reward? Now the risk side is a known fact. I'm going to risk this much. The reward side of the equation, that's what you see as being possible. And you'll have some tools to size that up. But just because you risk 300 and by all, intents and purposes, it should run, between $500 and $600 before it hits resistance or support, depends on whether you're going long or short. It doesn't guarantee that that's how it's going to play out. It may play out better, it may not. So you have to be prepared. I highly recommend that you spend time in sim with the alerts, okay, so that you really get a feel for the markets and when it's time to take your profits, when it's time to scratch out, when it's time to stay in for the long haul. And that's where the indicators will come in. If a trade has gone a good distance and you lay those indicators up there, it sort of takes the pressure off of you. Unless it immediately starts just racing in the opposite direction. If it just continues along at a normal pace, you'll see that MA1 cross you'll see the step line cross the MA1, and then you'll see a candle close in the opposing direction of your trade, and you'll calmly and coolly take your exit. Okay, that's for the Concierge Trade Alerts. If you have any questions, support@cfrn.net. Call us 949-42-EMINI. Now somebody put something in the chat box. Let's see what this is. Hillary not going to an emergency room on 9/11, but going to her daughter's house is highly suspicious. Why not go to an emergency room? It's because the doctors would know her true condition. Okay. It's too hard for me to eat pizza without having a beer. Amen, brother. All things in moderation. Now, Ken, what have you put in here for me? Let me take a look at this. Did you come up with some good stuff? Let's take a peek at that. And maybe we'll put it in the show notes tonight, depending on what it is. Okay, here it goes. Breaking secret Democrat office hub just found here. 14 organizations involved. What is this you brought us, Ken? Any commentary you want to type in about this in the chat box is certainly welcome. Ken, the gentleman who sent me this link. I'm trying to figure out. Breaking secret Democrat office hub just found here. 14 organizations involved. The uncovered location of the secret office is 455 Massachusetts Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. Zip code. Last week, the Citizens Audit exposed how the Clinton campaign illegally purchased research from pro-Democrat super PAC, and how Media Matters for America is filing fraudulent tax returns by hiding rental income. Emergency security knife clearance sale, $2.95 plus free shipping and handling. Click here. That sort of spoiled it. This week we plan to expose even more. They've got a set of dishes to go with those knives. However, before we do, it's important for us to properly set the stage. During our investigation, we identified 14 organizations that share the following address. Who owns the lease to the 6th floor? Media Matters for America owns the entire 6th floor of this building. How do we know this? Man, all these ads. Of all the organizations listed below, Media Matters is the only one identified on CompStack as a registered tenant. Of all the organizations listed below, Media Matters is the only one incurs occupancy expense appropriate for a tenant in downtown D.C. American Bridge, 21st Century, and Correct the Record make rent payments to Media Matters. Who did we find? Below are the organizations we've identified that operate out of the 6th floor of 455 Massachusetts Avenue, Northwest. Take note of how similar the mission statements are for each of these organizations. This will be important as we expose more information later this week. Jackie Chan passed away this morning. Wow. That guy was in excellent health. Correct the Record is a strategic research and rapid response team designed to defend Hillary Clinton from baseless attacks. David Brock is the founder of Correct the Record. Time reported on September 10th, 2015 that since Correct the Record does not pay for advertising advocating Clinton's election, David Brock says he can continue under the current rules to talk to her and her campaign staff about strategy while deploying the unregulated money he raises to advocating her election online through the press or through other means of non-paid communications. Okay, let's just go through these. Correct the Record. I'm going to put this in the show notes. Correct the Record, American Bridge, Franklin Forum, Media Matters for America. They're the tenet of record. American Bridge, Franklin Education Forum, Franklin Forum, American Independent, Citizens for Responsibility. Yeah. The Bonner Group. The Bonner Group is a professional fundraiser. American Priorities Joint Fundraising Committee. Franklin Strategies. All right. So that's where we're going to leave it, guys, for the day. Thank you, Ken, for sharing that. I'll take a closer look at it, by the way. Oh, Ken says, by the way, Jackie Chan didn't pass away. You know, that aggravates me. Where'd I go? Heartbreaking news, Jackie Chan passed away this morning. I hate getting suckered into clicking a link. IP detected warning 080. Look at that. Don't click that link, people. I've got some pretty stout security on this computer. Don't click it. You see that warning I got up there? Okay. Might be nothing, but whenever... Ken, did you get that warning when you clicked on the link? Or did you find out some other way that he didn't pass away? How'd you do that? Mine was okay, no trouble here. Is Jackie Chan dead? Chan's spokesperson was quoted as saying he's still alive and well and stop believing what you see on the internet. NDT Movies reports that there was another hoax in 2011 that said Chan died from a heart attack after a Facebook page dubbed Jackie Chan, Rest in Peace, went viral. No, Jackie Chan is not dead. Well, that's good to know. He's fun to watch in the movies. My goodness, the things people do with their time. I mean, here we are trying to scratch out a living, you know, make the world a better place with the money we make. And Jim says it is confirmed that Bruce Lee is still dead, though. So, all right, guys, I got to run. Listen, thanks for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-host and guest. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.